All right. In the bottom right, it is the Red Terran, Mithrander. And in the top left, hey, howdy. Howdy. And both of them successfully nailing down their depot timings. Absolutely no problem there. We will have to see if Mithrander can cut through, or if Howdy brings... Okay, we're going to go with the 2 depot start. I wouldn't have expected any less depots, at the very least. Okay, an SCV scout and a barracks on the other side. Such aggressive intentions. Not really focusing on that infrastructure, but instead on these unit-producing Okay, 3, okay. Well, he's going to deny the scout. And now the real key to denying scouting is not only denying it, but not having anything to scout at all. So, next level play is out of Howdy here. We've got 2 barracks coming out. Two barracks on the other side, a little bit slower for very obvious reasons. But the wall... Gandalf the Red, when the SCV fell. First blood, oh, but the SCV... Vengeance comes down the ramp. The SCV will escape. It's on the chase. The waypoint isn't perfect. We have some Marines coming out to intercept, but this SCV is sworn to a blood oath to avenge his brother. Will he be able to fulfill it? Or will he too fall at the hands of Mithrander? The chase is on. It cannot go unanswered. They're evenly matched in speed, but of course one of them is... Oh, but is the wall... Will his people let him in? No, unfortunately! At the last second, he reconsidered his aggressive intentions. He found the light, and he had mercy. An unexpected turn of events.
Resubscription confirmed.
We'll see if good karma will follow him throughout this match.
Wow, what a letdown.
Thank you, Night Shadow. Welcome back. A factory is on the way. On the other side, we have the customary Quad Rex opener behind the wall as he musters his forces. And it might be time for the classic 8 Marine timing as he moves out. On the other side, there are only going to be 7 or so Marines to greet him. It will all depend on the positioning and whether if he remembers his ramp is the place he should fight. It does look like he will have sufficient forces to defend. He does have any sort of tech at all whatsoever, but we will see. Howdy is a bit off course. He's going a little bit off to the left here in his initial direction, but he should be able to correct it in time to execute his attack. All right, they're going to have a navigational discussion. We have a scan. Yes, there are units in the main. He has more Marines than me. Let's attack. He'll never expect inferior amounts of Marines to come up his ramp now that he has more. The scan baits out the move to the left. The beautiful bait and switch out of Howdy. The next level mind hacks means the tech lab is under heavy fire. Marines being gunned down. The rest move to the ramp. Will we be able to take out the tech lab in time? No. He's gonna... Nope. He backed off for a second, then came back to make sure there were indeed still more Marines, but he was not hallucinating. The siege tank will give a deep tissue massage to many of the Marines on the low ground, and they will be forced into retreat. Okay. But more Marines where that came from. Now he's seen the siege tank. He knows the defensive posture out of Mithrander is strong. But are his Marines stronger? And at the very least, they are harder. I'm not sure if they're faster, and at inferior upgrades they're not better, but are they stronger? You want to check off all 4. So he sees the tank unsieging, moving into a better position. What will Howdy do? The counter scan. He sees the forces are out there. Will he try to bait into the siege tank? If we go to the APM tab, both these players near 100. So many actions coming out for so little action happening. The action to actions per minute ratio is quite high. Wait, low. Low? High? High, and that's... You get the fucking idea, alright? But the Marines will be traded out, so instead of using his siege tank and his defensive posture, instead he will lose a chunk of his Marines. 2 step forward. None will return. Alright, we've had a Marine tank force on either side. Howdy shows no signs of stopping. The add-ons are being plugged in. He scans. The siege tank moves forward. This could be a decisive move here. The tank is unsieged on the low ground. Some big shots are coming out. The medevac's trying to muster. The bunker will not complete. The tank will unload on it. We've got another tank moving forward. Is it in position? No, it's within range. And it will be obliterated by the arc-light cannons. And he will stim into the sieged-up tank, and he will take it out. But another, where that came from. Tank shots on either side. The shelling continues as neither player confident in their micro or their macro, but confident in themselves. He's gonna drop on top. Unfortunately, the Marines are not. So, maybe a bit of a miscalculation out of Mithrandir there. Going for the drop on the tank, but unfortunately, the tank and the Marines got the drop on him. Alright, he's down to 36 supply, but he's the only one within expansion in this game. But the beauty of Terran buildings is they can lift. The one base attack continues. He's loading up a double drop. Maybe taking a page out of Mithrandir's book. He's going to move to occupy this position. He's abandoning his siege tanks on the low ground. The medevacs will be scanned. He boosts towards the main. The Marines are coming to respond. The stim is there. Will he be able to drop out in time? He hits one of the medevacs. Will it escape with its life? It will. The other one is completely loaded up. 1 goes down. 2 go down. It's a disaster. The entirety of the landing force will be gunned down before they can step even a single foot onto the beach of Odyssey. Both players trading medevacs, doing their absolute best to maximize the damage of their opponent. The tank moves forward, but it will not be stepping back. Both of them jockeying for position. The supply's dead even. 47 to 47. A single Reaper is ready for the backstab. The orbital on a long-distance reconnaissance mission to here. You never know what could hit you from there. The upgrades are on the way. 51 to 50 supply. Army supply, 28 to 29. Worker supply, dead even. Alright, Howdy is starting to mine out of his main, but he's got more where that came from. The base is hidden. The Reaper's not going to find it. The scans come out on either side. Maybe a bit of an early transfer, a mule drop. He's jumping the gun, but he knows what he wants. But the triple drop on the other side. The incomes are still going to go in favor of Mithrandir, but his engagements have not been where they needed to be so far. Both these players well over 100 APM, and I'm still mystified as to how. Oh! The SCV transfer via medevac. The initial investment is quite large. The down... Did he see it? I'm not sure. We'll see if there's a reaction. I think he might have seen it, but a Liberator goes out. The counter damage is potentially there. Is he just going to go for the tanks? He will just go for the tanks. One should be obliterated. Freed from its life. These do not have combat shields. They will be one-shot. The freedom rains down on the Marines. But it will back off. I don't think it would have been able to take them all up, but now there are 2 Liberators. Banshee is not well known for their anti-Liberator capabilities. Another Banshee comes in on the other side. Both these players utilizing Starport units to potentially move forward. Another siege up. A very bold siege. And then an unsiege. Oh, but a bait into the sea. He could be covered with this. Both of them really testing the limits of their units, and by that I mean the floor. Not the ceiling. The tank will be taken out. The Liberators trying to take out the Banshees, but Marines will not have any of that. The worker count now 28 to 24. If we reach above 30, it's already a miracle. Nobody's moving up. These Banshees are the leverage from which he sieges forward. He forces the tanks to unsiege on the other side. I'm not sure where the Liberators went, to be honest. Where did the Liberators go? Wait, did he lose the Liberators? The Liberators were in the main, getting repaired by a single SCV. It's a big job for one man. But is he up to the task? Oh god, tanks at the back! We'll finish off most of the Marines. One Liberator goes down. The Liberators are still, the range is still good. Everything coming down the ramp, getting blasted back, but it will unload its Concorde cannon into most of the rest of the tanks. A massive exchange on either side, but the supplies will remain nearly even. How D with a slight lead, but that tank is going to cut it. A Cloaked Banshee does come in. He's able to scan. There are no more tanks sieged up. A single Viking will be brought. Well, there was already another Viking here, but it had to wait for its friend. Buddy system. Be prepared. The Liberator will get away. 10 HP. Another expansion, a third base coming up from Mithrandir. Some Widow Mines have come up as well. As the rally continues, Howdy, the continual aggressor, Mithrandir on the defense. But without siege tanks to really secure this position, will it be enough? 44 to 27 army supply. The bio force has been significantly reduced. The scan coming out of Howdy. Very edge of the Widowmine range. And the bunker will be canceled. This Liberator never wanted to live anyways. But here come the Marines. The Banshee will not cloak. The Vikings are going to bite the dust as well. They'll be knocked out of the sky. The Marines are going to engage. The upgrades are +1 versus 0-0. Everybody has combat shields now. But almost all of the units on either side have died or gotten a little bit closer. Don't do drugs, kids. The Widow Mines will recharge and continue to wreak havoc on the reinforcements, but the bio forces unwittingly will run back with the memory of a goldfish and be finished off. He will remove the Widow Mines, but at a heavy price. This hidden base out of Mithrandir, just the lifeline that has kept him in this match throughout this constant aggression. But Howdy is mustering a strong force. He's got 3 tanks, he's got a Viking, he's got enough Marines in front to deal some damage. Can Mithrandir put his 1,700 minerals, 1,500 gas into production? He has the resources, he has the willpower, but can he translate it into a fighting force? It's looking dicier and dicier as time goes on, as the production has all but shut down, as he hasn't actually built a unit since, like, okay, well now we're just going to build 10 Marines out of a single barracks. Military contractors. SCVs being obliterated. But the tanks once again find a very nice position to siege up. He still has access on the... He's not building anything over here. This scouting marauder. Well, that's an expensive way to scout. All right. I think that was the rally point, actually. Yeah, it still is the rally point. I'm not sure he realizes. Unfortunately, there's already a Viking. These Liberators might not be as effective as he hopes. He dodges the scan, but then sieges up in a position which doesn't hit anything. All right, maybe he's going to back up. Second time's a charm. Can we do it again? All right, the tanks are pretty good. Only a single hotkey being used by Mithrandir. He has his orbital command on 0. So I guess we're playing Brood War. Hal D on the other side only has a hotkey for his army. He knows what's important. He somehow still... Let's go to the Hal D action cam, brought to you by Del Taco. Like Taco Bell, but slightly shittier. I'm not sure how he's producing his units. Does he has... It looks like he has a camera location, or he does the mini-map. Well, whatever works for him. Okay, Mithrandir once again holed up in his own base, unable to break out. There's literally nothing he could do to circumvent this airtight fucking choking contain that Howe has laid down here. Just absolutely no angles he could possibly... He is acutely aware of how strong this contain is. A third base has been taken. He's at 103 supply. As the tanks move forward.
Resubscription confirmed.
Thank you, X Potion.
Automatically relayed.
But
Thanks.
as I say it, he runs the gauntlet. He thruds the blockade. And almost 2 medevacs and Marines will make it out. The attack is not moving forward presently. There is nothing at home to defend. The rally point is completely on the other side of the map. Mithrandir. Going to the Mithrandir action cam. Alright. Gonna be able to get that. Does he have stem? He does. He's gonna be able to take out all these SCVs. This could be the decisive move. The backstab. He has been on the defense all game. But this tactical strike, taking out one command center. Will he get more where that came from? It's now 102. The supplies will flip.
Base is under attack.
Wait, no they won't. 103 to 96. They'll get a lot closer, though. There is a tank over here, but he can drop on top of the tank. And this time, it's going to make a lot of sense to do so. There's another tank. Is he going to drop on top of that as well? He's doing a great job. His micro is... It's happening. There's drops happening. It's happening. On the other side, Howe is frozen in his tracks. He's going to load up half of his... He has almost as many medevacs. Personal, single medevac healthcare for all. Alright, as he drops on everything, but there are already 3 tanks here. Mithrandir is prepared for this eventuality. He's lost his patience, and now it looks like he might lose the game. As the defense is there, he will hold on. Howe just couldn't handle the tactical backstab. The tanks are moving forward. He will have vision, but he will obliterate one of the tanks. Is there actually going to be... These 4 tanks can still do a lot of damage. I think there almost is enough now for Howe to clean it up in the main, but he's losing his last command center. So we'll have to see. We do have production over here. There's also a... What? Okay. The last command center of Howe has been taken out. The Liberator sieges up. And slowly... Very slowly, but surely, the contain will be broken. He has finally... It's Mithrandir Unchained! As he breaks out of the contain at the most effective timing. And he is going to be able to finish up. We've got a 1 command center building here out of Howe. Widow mines are burrowing, but that's a distant dream. Unfortunately, well... There were 2. There were 2 Widow mines, so, and, well, the medevacs are providing a lot of target practice for this one badly bruised Marine. But Mithrandir is now on 4 bases. There's a single Banshee, a single command center building, and a Dream here for how... Okay, 2 Banshees. 2 Banshees can actually do a lot. Does he have... He has 2 orbitals. All he has to do is use them. And he's been scanning all game. You've seen that. The Banshees are coming in. We've got the cloak. Will he have the scans in time? If he doesn't have the anti-air, it doesn't matter how many scans he has. He drops 1. The uncloak. The scan scared him into uncloak. He recloaks again. All right, just pick 1. It costs 25 energy to cloak. You're just tiring yourself out over here. But he's going for the SCVs. They do have +1 armor, so they're no longer being 2-shot. One Banshee uncloaks because it's out of energy. The other uncloaks because he decided to uncloak it. But they're doing a lot of work on this side. How is mining again? I mean, he can kill a lot of these Marines. There could be a stim. He does stim. He keeps uncloaking his goddamn Banshees when they... Okay. It costs energy to cloak. The turret comes up. The Lexington rockets will finish it off. Alright, he's in detection radius. That will be the final Banshee. And it does look like Hal is on his last legs here. Let's see if Mithrander decides to consolidate his forces and attack. The Liberator will siege up. There's barely enough Marines to deal with this. And I think Mithrander is now too big to fail. He's going for the tank. There is a single Widow Mine, but this command center and pretty much all of the SCVs are going to fall. He'll leave the game. And in that come-from-behind victory, where it looked like all was lost, it looked like he might choke under the pressure, he found the light. He found the light. What a... What a player.